Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review. Nancy and her friends are watching a concert on TV. Not just any concert, a mystery concert. 3 years ago, famous rock star Jessie Slade disappeared during this concert. It must not be very good, though, because Nancy gets bored of the music and starts checking out the scenery, and on the very edge of the frame, she sees somebody fall off a cliff. Dun dun dun. Bess takes over at this point and cold calls the TV station. She must be a wizard with phone calls because 5 minutes later, they've all been hired as detectives by the world's most popular VJ. Wow, I didn't know he took phone calls from total strangers. The VJ thinks this is a legitimate case because Jessie's manager, Tommy Rode, also disappeared on the day of the concert, so we have 2 disappearances at the concert and 1 dead body. Definitely a mystery. We meet the head of the network, Winslow Thomas, who comes up with a cover story. Nancy will be posing as a Be a VJ contest winner, and she'll spend the week working at the TV station. Why? I don't know. The TV station isn't connected to Jessie's disappearance in any way, shape, or form. In fact, the TV station didn't even exist when Jessie disappeared, but Nancy works there anyway, and discovers no clues whatsoever. Mostly she has trouble dealing with her boss, Renee Stanley. Renee instantly hates Nancy and forces her to do non-stop busy work. At one point, she lies to Nancy about the schedule, so Nancy completely bombs a live interview on TV. It goes really badly, and she's soon fired as a result. With the real investigation, Nancy visits the site of the concert, and she falls off the cliff. She blames the ground for being too fragile because she doesn't want to admit that she's a klutz. She also visits Vint Wiley, the band's bass player. He is dead! No, wait, he's just sleeping. Fake out cliffhanger. Vint is very defensive about Jessie's disappearance, and we later learn that's because he was secretly dating Jessie's girlfriend. I suppose it's only fitting that the 1980s music book follows the story of Jessie's girl. Nancy visits Rosnay Martin, a man who makes his living selling Jessie Slade memorabilia. I can't imagine he makes that much money selling photos of a celebrity who hasn't been seen in years, but no matter. Rosnay has a photograph of Jessie standing in front of a current-day car, which means Jessie's still alive! Nancy traces the photo to the fictional town of Los Gatos, not to be confused with the real town of Los Gatos. She finds Jessie, who explains the entire story. His manager was embezzling money, the 2 of them got into a fight about it at the edge of a cliff. Not sure why they did that during a concert, but whatever. The manager fell off the cliff, and Jessie fled the country to escape murder charges. Eventually, he got bored of being in Mexico, so he came back to the United States, where he makes money selling publicity photos of himself. Because that's exactly what you want to do when you're trying to avoid murder charges. You take publicity photos. Things go badly for Jessie after this, because a bunch of reporters show up, the culprit shoots him, and the culprit sends fake evidence to the police to have Jessie arrested. But it's okay, because Nancy soon puts 2 and 2 together, and she realizes the culprit is Jessie's manager. He faked his own death and restarted life as Winslow Thomas. Winslow leads our heroes into a somewhat strange death trap. He locks them in a production room and plays a loud sound. Like a really loud sound. So loud nobody can move or think or see. The sound is literally killing them. In real life, sound doesn't work like that. Your eardrums burst before you start dying. But this is a book, and I'm guessing the author never tried to kill somebody via sound, so I can understand that it's not 100% true to life. As anybody who has seen the book's cover can tell you, Nancy escapes this death trap by grabbing a guitar and smashing a window. Good thing the random guitar was there. Jessie pretends to be his own ghost in order to get the culprit to confess, and we finish with Nancy being asked to become a permanent VJ. Nancy turns down the job offer because she'd rather be unemployed. The end. Post-book follow-up. One thing I like about this book is how it handles Nancy's hunches. Usually when she gets a hunch, it means she magically knows who the culprit is for no real reason. But here, it's more legitimate, and her hunches are more like, one of the 3 things in the previous paragraph is a clue. And it's like a puzzle. You have to figure out which one of those things is the clue. It's a lot better than, Nancy had a sense this guy was untrustworthy. It helps that there are some clues which help prepare for the big revelation that the network head is Jesse's dead manager. As for the rest of this book, I'll be honest here. I read the book over a month ago and I don't remember it at all. But I had my notes on the book, which is how I was able to write this review. It looks like I didn't think the band member or the boss were good suspects. I thought the VJ stuff wasn't relevant to the mystery, but it was mildly interesting. I imagine it was even more interesting when the book was first published. You know, when VJs were still a big popular thing. So the book is good overall, but with some problems? I give Nancy Drew Files number 34, Vanishing Act, a 7 out of 10.